Here's a story that's a prime example of why you don't lead with your emotions. Shout out to the Democratic Party. Every moment that passes after Donald Trump's victory in this year's presidential election, more and more of your subordinates, those who think like you, who go off on emotion only, don't use rational thinking. And I think this happened before the election. So it just shows. See, Democrats talk about democracy and tyranny and how the Republican Party and Donald Trump are the bad boogeyman, which is, I don't know. Maybe he's not. But the thing about it is, why you having us trying to have us be afraid of the big bag boogeyman on the right, on the left, y'all are doing things to people who ain't got nothing to do with you, who rely on you to do your job. You took an oath, you took a position to do. It's like working in nursing. I can't really understand people who get into the medical field or nursing field, but you have problems. Let's say you are, I don't know, let's say you are Muslim, just throwing it out there. But yet you go work for a Catholic hospital. Or to say you are, and the hospital allows, baby deletion. It's part of your job description that you take care of people however the hospital sees fit. So there are going to be things that are going to come up that you will not be in agreement with because, you should because you've lived in this country long enough to know that there are certain, let's say you don't eat pork, but yet when the trays come around in the hospital, they got pork chops on them. Are you not going to serve the trays because they got pork on it because you don't want to touch it when that's part of your job? Or you give medications that have pork in it. Are you not going to give the medication because it has some sort of pig oil in it? Come on now. A lot of them snacks that you eat, they got monodiglycerides in it. So you can't pick and choose what you will and what you won't do when you pick certain jobs, when you choose certain careers. You just can't. If you want to maintain your religious beliefs and live at a standard that you feel that you should live, then you should choose another profession that's in the private sector to where what you want, it can be accommodated more. But anyway, let's go to this story because this is another sad story that somebody in a high position are playing God and dictating who lives or dies. Let's watch it.
Another issue that highlighted the incompetency of Joe Biden was hurricane relief and FEMA's reaction, right?
Yeah.
And Joe Biden was in charge, but Kamala Harris was running, and there was there was an avoidance of wanting to talk about how significant the impact is on so many communities based on two hurricanes. Now, according to the Daily Wire, this is a staggering story. FEMA officials, which should be helping everybody, directed hurricane relief workers in Florida to avoid certain homes that had Trump signs in their lawn. Okay, here's the report according to the Daily Wire. A FEMA supervisor told workers in a message to avoid homes advertising Trump as they canvassed Lake Placid, Florida, to identify residents who could qualify for federal aid. Internal messages viewed by the Daily Wire reveal. The supervisor, Marnie Washington, relayed this message both verbally and in group chat used by the relief team. Multiple government employees told the Daily Wire. So now hurricane relief also politicized.
This is sad. You have people down there in Florida, suffering tremendously, financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Hurricane hits, wipes you out. Knocks your roof off. If your house is still standing, you're blessed. Flood damage, water damage, electricity out, nowhere to go, waiting on help. And you got this emotional person who says they're not going to help you, telling people to not help you if you got a freaking Trump sign in the yard. But here's another thing, another question that's I'm not sure if it was asked. What happens to the people who actually followed those instructions? Now I know see somebody told on them, whistle blew and told the supervisors or whatever have you of what was told to them. But there are, a matter of fact, I want to look at, let's see, a little article right quick. This is from sportskita.com. And it says, who is Marnie Washington? FEMA official comes under fire by netizens over text sent to relief workers to skip homes with Trump signs. And I just scrolled through this a little bit. It said Ron DeSantis has reportedly ordered an investigation into FEMA. So he's Trump's buddy, so that's not good. Talking about, she said, don't go talk to nobody with the Trump signs. But here's what's amazing. Let's see. Marnie Washington reportedly conveyed the message both verbally and through a Microsoft Teams chat to relief workers canvassing Lake Placid residents last month. She should have known emotions. She allegedly wrote in a memo, avoid homes advertising Trump. Wow. The order was reportedly the second bullet point in instructions given to workers. Other guidelines included not going anywhere alone, staying hydrated, following the rules, and practicing de-escalation. FEMA, now check this out. FEMA confirmed that at least 20 houses displaying Trump signs or flags were omitted from their assessments, considering that it was election season. Their tracking system stated that messages left by workers when they skipped houses read, Trump sign, no entry per leadership. Wow. That is sick. That is truly sick. How can, like I say, you sit here and try to play God and decide who does and don't get benefits because they support a candidate that you don't like? Like, seriously? These same people you probably pass by every day. Y'all probably work together. You probably go to church together, eating the same restaurants, go to the same grocery stores, walk these same streets. But you are going to deny them federal aid that don't come out of your pocket at all because they are supporting the candidate that you don't support. Several internet users expressed outrage over the incident. Some comments online read, whoever gave these orders should be arrested or at the very least sued. I believe so too. Because you denying people federal, you discriminate. That's discrimination. Democracy, discrimination, racism, all that kind of stuff. You see what I'm talking about? You Democrats, what you talk about, but yet you got people who are discriminating against your opponent, people who like your opponent. Wow, lawsuit coming and FEMA should be dismantled. Yep. Remember, because they found out FEMA was giving money to these migrants and they didn't have no money to help their own people. And they try to go that back and forth talking about, well, we got to go through Congress to get the money, but yet did Congress tell you to give money to these migrants? And how long does it take for Congress to say, hey, release more money for the American people? But you said, don't even look at people with Trump signs in their yard. It said President-elect Donald Trump himself had not reacted to the controversy at the time of writing this article. Neither had Marnie Washington herself. Meanwhile, other reactions read, I have this really strong feeling that justice is coming for all those bastards. Disgusting. These agencies need to be gutted. Who made this order? They need to be brought before Congress immediately. As per the post, the organization's employees stated that Washington was not punished or fired from her position following the controversy and that she had been shifted to another Florida county, moving around like Catholic priests, I see. However, the organization stated in an official statement that Washington was no longer working in the state of Florida or in any FEMA operations at this moment, pending the outcome of the investigation. So she probably eventually get fired. Other comments read, sound like FEMA has some swamp monsters. Can't wait for Elon to start auditing them. Ooh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Elon Musk is about to start auditing this federal government spending. They should be criminally prosecuted. Of course, you deny people federal funds. That should be a crime in itself. There should be 37 felonies on there somewhere, somehow. It said on November 9th, Florida governor, that's the day, Ron DeSantis took to X to announce that his administration has launched an investigation into FEMA, stated the blatant weaponization of government by partisan activists in the federal bureaucracy is yet another reason why the Biden-Harris administration is in its final days. At my direction, the Division of Emergency Management is launching an investigation into the federal government's targeted discrimination of Floridians who support Donald Trump. The scandal comes after Donald Trump and J.D. Vance criticized the Biden-Harris administration for its slow response to the Hurricane Helen disaster. Let's go back to Fox News right quick. Let's see.
Yeah, no question. And by the way, there was already outrage that so many FEMA funds had been raided to give to illegal immigrants. And so obviously people are saying we gotta take the politics out of something as essential as emergency relief. I mean, this is insane. And by the way, the FEMA spokesperson has a statement. FEMA helps all survivors regardless of their political preference or affiliation. And we are deeply disturbed by this employee's actions. While we believe this is an isolated incident, we've taken measures to remove the employee from their role and are investigating the matter to prevent this from happening ever again. The employee who issued this guidance had no authority and was given no direction from anyone to tell teams to avoid these homes. And we are reaching out to the people who have not been reached as a result of this incident.
How come they just couldn't take the signs up? That's amazing that after the hurricane that your Trump sign is still in the yard. That's another amazing thing. But yeah, why? I mean, you could just take the signs up, throw them away, whatever the case may be, but you give them help. But no, you said they got a sign in their yard, don't help them. That is diabolical. That is devilment and satanic at its worst.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised that, you see lots of agencies getting politicized. This is one you really wouldn't expect.
Well, it's not just, to me, my focus is less on FEMA and more, I would imagine this is the case in every government agency. And what it does is show the depth of the cancer inside of our government, in that you have to root out politicization at the highest levels, for example, of the DOJ, but you have to also understand there's a bureaucracy under every one of these state departments where you have, foot soldiers who behave in the same manner as Merrick Garland. Right. And in order to really reform the bureaucracy, I actually think you are going to need Elon Musk walking through the lobbies of Washington, D.C. with a sink in his hands. He's going to have to sit there with the Department of Government Efficiency and cut it down to the size you could drown it in a bathtub. Otherwise, this is where we are now.
That's the challenge.
I mean, you see this devastation here, man.
That to me is one of the most interesting things about how.
Serious, think about this. Think about this being in your yard. Sidewalk, concrete poured up. Is that a street or somebody's? It could be somebody's house, driveway. But let's say you got trees down, uprooted, houses falling, and you don't get any relief or you have to wait to get relief because eventually it probably had to come back around to you because you have a Trump sign in your yard, but your neighbor can get the relief immediately, start rebuilding for whatever money they got, and probably up and running back on their feet. In your house, you still have this in front of your house because somebody is butthurt about you promoting Donald Trump. This is why Donald Trump won. This is one reason why Donald Trump won, because people tired of bullies. You call Donald Trump a bully, but yet all y'all are bullying people who support him.
How this will play out. So Elon Musk fired 90% of
Look at that. Look at that.
Twitter, turned it into X because he had to change the culture.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way with government. You wish it could. I remember what we did with the department.
You can though.
You can. You just have to do it on a certain process, and you got to be dedicated to doing it and demonstrating how to do it.
Well, the first thing you have to do is take out the unionization of federal employees so that they're fireable. Absolutely. And I also heard that, and by the way, VA
is a massive task. We did that at the VA when we were running out at just the VA, and they refused to use it inside the VA. So the government bureaucracy then fights back and says, okay, we have this tool, but we're not going to use it. And they certainly don't. I mean, it's the fight worth having. That is the fight to have.
It is the most important fight. And
I would be equally pessimistic just because based upon our history and the size of this thing. I think the only thing that gives me some inspiration, well, there's two things. One, the involvement of Elon Musk. I think that is incredibly big. And the second is to see some model of it in Argentina with Javier Milei. I mean, he has actually cut down government when it's hard to find an example on the world stage. There is actually one in Argentina.
Yeah. And they have seen.
I'm going to be very interested to see what Trump, Elon Musk, Robert Kennedy Jr., what they'll do once Trump has taken over in office. You know, he only has 4 years, so you got to get in there and get to work to repair a lot of this stuff that these emotional people get this emotion out of living and put people in that's going to get the job done, understand that life is hard, understand you're not going to agree with everyone, but we still live in, you see what the Democrats talk about and with Kamala Harris and all this, Donald Trump is about division. He's not about us coming together. All this stuff, but yet you have people in your own party supporting you, practicing the very thing that you are claiming that Donald Trump is promoting. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Let's share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing, but maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but they mean the world to us here. If you would like to support financially, you can always give super thanks, super chats, or click on the link description box below. There are links there you can click on, and you can help support the channel. Don't forget to go to marlonmorale.com. That's marlonmorale.com. We get 10% off your first purchase of all our luxury products, which include beard care, silk scarves, silk do-rags, perfumes, handbags, purses, and more. marlonmorale.com. Like I say, 10% off your first purchase. Or if you go to the shop, but hit the shop button below this video. Right now we're having a sale on our sandalwood mini beard kit, which has the beard wash, beard oil, and beard balm. Sandalwood is clinically proven to help stimulate hair follicle growth. So if you're trying to grow that beard thicker or just trying to start growing a beard, what better way to do it than with the best oil and fragrance on the market right now? You won't be disappointed. Get one for yourself, get one for your loved ones. Hey, like I said, you won't be disappointed. With that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.